trying to banana peel. You know what I'm saying? I was born like.
All right, so we are going live tonight at New Head Studios. I have Mr. RAYEL with me tonight.
Why you gotta say my name?
And we are going to discuss a few things. Hi.
Why you gotta be saying my name?
How are you? Okay, so we're going to go right into it. The first topic for tonight is called registration. What does it mean to register? So, in your words, Mr. Ray, when you think of the word registration, what comes to your mind?
My man?
Mm-hmm. Hi, everybody. You think of registration, what comes to your mind? When you have to register a car, register a deed, what comes to your mind when you think of registration? Don't give me the eyes, Jonathan. Mm-hmm. What comes to your mind? Hey, Caesar. Mm-hmm. I'm asking the questions. He's in the hot seat. So when you think of registration, what kind of information can you give us that we may not know about? Vote. Registration means to vote. Okay.
Registration means to vote.
That one person said when you think of registration, you think of vote, means to vote.
Well, they do require you to be registered before you can vote, right?
Register baby shower or bridal.
So what does the word mean?
So register.
Because you're talking about the action. Or it sounds like your listeners are referring to the action or what they believe the action that they are doing. But what does the word mean?
Registration. To register something. So when I register the deed to my house, what am I doing?
Well, first of all, you committing a public act. Right? You're doing something for the purposes of public recording, I want to say. But it's a difference between registering and recording.
What's the difference between them? Register and recording.
Okay.
So I can't record my deed to my house?
Well.
Have you on next? Okay. All right, track star.
Well, actually, to register is to transfer. And I think that that's one of the biggest things of what I would call trickery that's being perpetuated continuously, because we all are trained to register our things without understanding what that word means in the first place, or even understanding that we have a choice in registering and recording.
But don't you have to register? You can't live in this world, can you, without registering your things? Don't you have to register your car?
Well, first, let's take a look at the word. What does it mean to register?
Register means...
What does the word mean itself?
To register my information on paper, so it makes me what? A citizen when I register something?
Well, it doesn't define you as a citizen or not, but
Mm-hmm.
it's an act of a citizen. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But the word register itself, meaning uh, pertaining to or coming from the root word regis.
Regis.
Regis, Regis.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look it up, or if you look into the definition of regis,
Mm-hmm.
it would state, or in some manner, it depends on which definition you go for, Google some kind of way. Why don't you look it up? Can you look it up right there?
Let me see if I can look up Regis. Regis meaning. Let's see what I get. Oh, it's going pretty slow. Can't get it. Okay, let me see. Regis is Latin for of the king, occurs in numerous English place names. The name usually recalls the historical ownership of lands or manors by the crown. The Regis form was often used in the past as an alternative form to kings, for instance, at King's Bromley and King's Lynn. So,
is that it?
Yeah. So Regis is Latin for king.
Of the king, you said?
Mm-hmm. Of the king.
Okay. So another definition that I came across would be pertaining to the royal estate, so to speak, which is the same thing, meaning of the king, pertaining to the royal estate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So with that understood, to register.
To register. Register. Uh-huh.
Would mean to take what would normally be yours and transfer it to the king.
And transfer it to the king.
Or the royal estate. Now I know that's probably gonna go over a lot of people's head in the beginning, but
register. And it says kings when I look it up. When I look it up on here, it talks about Latin of kings. Okay. So let me ask you this. Who are the Aboriginals?
Don't switch the subject.
Don't switch it. You want to mix it up? You want to stay?
I'm talking about because you just touched on the deep subject.
Yeah, but we're going back to it. We'll go back to it because I just want to ask you.
Who are the Aboriginals?
Mm-hmm.
What Aboriginals?
When you hear Aboriginals, what do you think of? I'm leading to something.
Aboriginals?
Mm-hmm.
I think of a really good cartoon that never was made.
Okay. So when you think of Aboriginals, can you put Aboriginals and registrations are registered together? When you think of an Aboriginal, when you think of the word registration? Do Aboriginals have to register?
Do Aboriginals have to register?
Mm-hmm.
When you say have to,
mm-hmm. Because a lot of people that says they are Aboriginal indigenous.
Indigenous?
Yes. They say that they was already here. You know, this is where they belong. You know, they didn't come over from Africa or anywhere. So if they was here and this is where they belong, do they have to register?
What would they be registering to?
The government, the Secretary of State,
that brings up another very good question.
Mm-hmm.
If you was born here
mm-hmm.
and of this land or this soil,
hey everybody that just joined in,
whatever kind of way you look at it,
mm-hmm.
what do you have to register to?
Well, they have to register their homes somewhere, right? To someone, to a corporation.
Well, your form of registering your property is just to enlist ownership. or to show your interest in things, in those things. You see what I'm saying? So the purpose of registering your assets to you are different than your purpose of registering to vote, to have your voice heard. Am I correct? But what I'm telling you is that they serve the same purpose.
How?
Because when you register any of your assets or your vote, meaning your vote is your asset because it's your will being done on earth as it is in heaven. So when you register your will, meaning give consent or fail to object to consent being taken, meaning.
So when you register, you're giving a corporation consent.
I'm gonna make it simple. In terms of registration, when it comes to voting, yeah, you are actually transferring power of attorney. You are giving the power of attorney to a foreign corporation.
Okay.
Which gives them the ability to make political decisions. Politicians create policies.
Politicians create policies.
Policies. That's created or enforced, I should say, by police. All under administrative policy. Nothing to do with law. It's all administrative policy. But same reason why they don't just come lock you up. You actually have to register to be locked up.
Hey, Mr. Curtis. So you have to register to be locked up.
Right, whether you know it or not. That's what you do.
But how can you get by in life or, this world that we live in without register? You have to register in order to be here, right? In order to be on this land?
Well, I mean,
is there ways around it?
That's the way they want you to believe, of course. But I don't know, what's your audience look like? How many people in the box?
Let's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Okay. 7. Hey. Okay, so let's go.
You ain't telling me. I want to know how many people listening to this.
No.
I need to know that before I go sign off.
I know. So we're going to go. Okay, so let's go to.
Hey, you just asked the question. What was it?
Is there any way around it that you can live in this, without register?
Well, yeah, there's a way around it all.
Like, can I get in my car and drive without having a vehicle that's registered through Secretary of State?
First of all, you can't do nothing without. Just like you have to know how, like you can't get into that car and drive around the corner and make it to the store without first understanding the mechanisms of the way that car runs.
Okay.
So when you use terms and when you think you can just get in a vehicle or operate a motor vehicle and drive somewhere, you have to understand the operation of that process, meaning the words, the thoughts, all of that. Because if you agree to get in a motor vehicle and drive anywhere, you are required by, I'm not going to say law, but statute or code to be a licensed driver under those terms and conditions.
Okay.
So in order to operate in that capacity, you have to understand and have correct awareness of what you are doing.
So what you're saying is, if you get into a car that does not have plates or license to it, you have to make sure you know before you get in that car and drive off the things to say, how to say it, or what to do.
No, what I'm trying to say is that anything you do, you have to have a full understanding of what you are doing, as opposed to just a broad, rehearsed, projected understanding. Or you can't assume no liabilities higher than your understanding, is what I should say.
Okay.
Because once you agree, or once you agree to drive a motor vehicle,
or once I agree to register my motor vehicle, then I have to abide by the laws of the land, right?
Well, no, not the land. What did you register? Did you register it to the land, or did you register it to the corporation?
I registered to the corporation, the Secretary of State Corporation.
So you would have to abide by the laws of the corporation. Now, see, the thing with the conversation is that it sounds like we jumping all over the place without the fundamentals being laid in place first. Because I feel like I'm talking crazy. Like a motherfucker might not understand where I'm coming from without knowing what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? So the questions are very good. Great material. I'm going to say so myself. But without laying down the fundamentals of what we trying to, the point we trying to express. Then motherfuckers be listening like, oh, what the fuck, So, I mean, as far as the platform is concerned.
If you are birthed through a midwife, everything that he is saying, it wouldn't apply because that child does not belong to the state. This is why everyone has a birth certificate. Okay, Mr. Fast Track.
If you was born
everyone has a birth certificate. Yeah. If you are birthed through a midwife, everything that he is saying doesn't apply because that child does not belong to the state. This is why everyone has a birth certificate. Okay. But if you have a midwife, you don't have to worry about belong to the state. Okay.
Well, if you had a midwife, 9 times out of 10, your birth wouldn't have been birth. You wouldn't have been birthed. You would have been born.
You would have been born.
Born date.
So that's a big word too.
Birth.
Midwife, you would have been born. You wouldn't have been birthed.
Well, you was actually born before you was birthed. Anyway, you was born creature of God. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't even know. That's a deep conversation within itself. But you was born first.
Go deep.
And then you was birthed. Right? Your birth date is actually different from your born date. But that's it. Like I said, you have to lay down fundamentals. The reason.
So when you go to the hospital.
Let's do this. Because when I talk, the only way I feel like I can completely express myself is to be able to break down the meaning of the words that we speaking of.
Because break it down.
Because listen what I mean. We have been lied to so much. I'm talking about since we was 2 on this planet we know as Earth.
So he playing on the words. He got to say it flat out.
We've been lied to a lot. You know what I'm saying?
You got to give it to us straight. Okay, Fast Track. So.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want to tell me who's listening, how many people listening.
Okay, so give it to us straight.
Yeah, what? I mean, hey, let's talk about trickery. We started off with registration.
Yep, we started off with registration. Right. We can start off with trickery.
Because my biggest thing is all this shit that's going on. It's a good time to talk about that too, because it's what's today? The inauguration happened today, right?
He trying to talk to us in circles. See, he got to give it to us straight. Okay, so he gonna give us trickery. Let's see what he come out of with trickery. Trickery.
I'm just saying, I personally believe that. Well, I actually know that the United States so to speak.
United States. Are you saying the United States is completely trickery?
That's an understatement. But I'm saying the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I would, I guess, ask the question: is it a government or a corporation?
Mm-hmm. Well, I already know what you think about that, and I already learned
I'm saying
that it's a corporation.
Okay, you
From my understanding, I thought there wasn't a government anymore.
Listen, let's do this because it's easier to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take away completely how I feel about shit. I'm gonna say that to later. No, I'm telling you, because we'll get faster by just dealing with what's factual and what we can actually look up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what we can actually prove, or what we can solidify.
Your birthday is actually 3 months after a 9 month of birth. A child is born 3 weeks after conception. Okay.
Huh? A child is born 3 weeks
after conception.
Oh, no. But that's
okay.
A whole nother round.
Okay. So why you can't give it to us straight? I want you to give it to me like you talking to me and you flat out like nah, no. Spare no feelings. Go. You should have had a show deuce there. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, since no, we're not even gonna go with trickery.
What you mean? We are, because it's all about trickery. Today was the inauguration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, this is the problem, because so many of our people think that Joe Biden or Donald Trump or Bush or whoever the fuck the president of this corporation is, because like I said, first we would have to establish the fact that the United States is not a government.
Okay, the United States is not a government; it's a corporation.
You can ask Google that shit. Google will tell you that the definition of the United States is a federal corporation.
Okay.
I mean, people hear that, like even I say it to you now, it go over people's head. But what that actually means is that corporations only exist on paper.
Corporations only exist on paper.
It's a figment of fiction. Just like McDonald's. For example, McDonald's is a corporation. Right? Now you see the buildings everywhere. These are manifestations of that corporation, which was somebody's idea one day. And they incorporated it and turned it into a business or franchise.
Okay.
But the actual McDonald's corporation, it only exists on paper.
Why does the McDonald's corporation only exist on paper?
Because all fictions of thought it's a thought, and then it becomes real when you write it on some damn paper. And then you manifest. But the actual corporation is only legitimized by the paper. It's only real by the paper. Such as
Such as
But that's the point I'm trying to make. What does it mean to register to a corporation? The same reason you can't just go in McDonald's, get in line between ordering your Happy Meal and place your vote for their president. You can't fucking vote for who McDonald's president is because you ain't a member, or you're not a stockholder, or whatever title they may want to give you. Being a registered employee or participant in that corporation. So to make a long story short, it's no different from this corporation.
How is that? Because we all are not. Are we members?
I'm gonna tell you, if you didn't select Trump or Biden, I'm not talking about choose between the lesser of the two evils.
The country is a corporation. This country is considered a experiment. This America is called the American experiment. This America is called the American experiment. Okay. Now, what were you saying about the Trump? Or when you vote for Trump or vote for Biden? Because when you say that about the registration and we have to register to vote and all those other things, it sounds like it kind of make you think of some type of another form of slavery. Now, go into that would make you go into let you tell it there's no such word as slavery, right? What is it called?
Did I say that?
Oh, or slave. You learned the word.
We haven't gave it to them. Like, we can't talk about conversations that ain't been established.
Okay, so when we think of registration, when we think of registered or registration, what do we
I need to do that anyway. That's gonna help a lot.
So registration. I'm trying to get him to go for the jugglers, the way he would usually say if we wasn't on live. He's trying to give the PG version. I'm trying to get him to say the X-rated version of what he would say on a normal day. For some reason, he's trying to give us a PG version tonight, and I don't know why, y'all. So let me see. The last thing that was said was this country is considered an experiment. He said this America is called the American experiment.
All right, I'm in the room.
So
I didn't say that. Somebody else said it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I ain't never heard it referred to as the.
Have you ever heard of the American experiment?
No, I'm not familiar with that, but I'm sure it's experiment for somebody.
I like to educate myself. I like to get knowledge when I don't know. So I want to pull up the American experience. That is new. I can learn. So thanks, Fast Track. Let's see. The American Experiment, A History of the United States, written by Stephen M. Gillen and Kathy D. Matson, is an advanced American high school history textbook, often used for AP United States history courses and a university undergraduate level textbook.
I think he must have been metaphorically speaking or something. So.
Let me see. Now it does say, hold on, let me see something. So it is another part of the American experiment. It says the heritage. And I wonder if it to pull up.
Listen, you on Google?
Yep, the American experiment was unique and improbable in 1776 when Thomas Jefferson, it cuts off on me. Okay, when Thomas Jefferson penned the Declaration of Independence and the American colony divided Britain, the most powerful nation on earth at the time. As we look around the world, at how difficult it is for democracy and freedom to take hold and flourish, America seems like a political miracle. It says in 1787, when the founding fathers had hammered out the U.S. Constitution in Independence Hall in Philadelphia, Benjamin Franklin told an inquiring woman what the gathering had produced. A republic, madam, if you can keep it.
A republic and what?
A republic, madam, if you can keep it. Jefferson also knew how great the American experiment's appeal would be to others.
So basically, the experiment was, I understand it, but would that be saying that the experiment was just the fact that they were breaking away from a colonist? Now you got to understand that we talking from the actual colonist perspective, not from the perspective of the indigenous people that was already here. You talking about some runaway motherfuckers that was running from the king and all that shit, running from their indebtedness, looking for a better way.
It says
only by way of conquest.
Okay.
So they wasn't coming over looking for motherfuckers to, you know what I'm saying? They was looking to conquest some shit.
Okay.
By trickery, by any way they could.
He said everyone with the birth certificate is a part. He said now he's getting it. He said everyone with the birth certificate is a part of this experiment. This is how the officials are allowed to enter into your home and take control. Now that was what I really had a problem with too. He said everyone with the birth certificate is a part of this experiment. This is how the officials are allowed to enter into your home and take control.
Well, tell him he right to a certain, or I could say he right to a certain extent, except for it's a big timing difference there. The birth certificate didn't come to a lot later.
The birth certificate didn't come to a lot later.
Right, so they wasn't using birth certificates when they was experimenting with shit. Like that's just another experiment that happened later. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, America, the whole thought. But it's still, we talking the colonist perspective, and we ain't even talking the truth about that. Because them motherfuckers knew what they was doing back then. For real. They knew who the real rulers of the seas was. It's a reason why, and all y'all can do y'all research. The captain of Christopher Columbus, so-called Christopher Columbus, ship was Moors.
They was Moors.
Because the Moors was the ones that navigated the seas. Christopher motherfucking Columbus.
Not Christopher Columbus. The Moors is who navigated.
But
let's see. But let's talk about that though. That is something though that a person can enter your home and take control. So let me ask you this.
You said the birth because of the birth certificate?
No, I want to ask you this. Can I? He said the birth certificate has been around since they were in Europe. Okay. So let me ask you this. Can they come in your home? I'm just speaking of you, not everybody else. I'm speaking of you. Person? Yeah, you personally. Can they come in your home and take control? You. I'm not speaking about us. You know, a lot of us that's registered. I'm speaking about you and only you personally. Can they come into your home and try to take control? Yeah. And if they can't, why can't they?
I'm just going to say this. Because I'll be real cocky to sit here and try to talk about what they can't do to me, like I'm somebody else. But I say this,
you got some knowledge on.
I wish a motherfucker would.
I
would say that.
No.
I'm saying for real, and I'm not gonna say that in no tough way. Like I'm gonna stop them on some shit. I'm gonna say that I'm aware of my rights, and I'm aware every motherfucking time they violate me, that they doing me a favor in the long run.
Why are they doing you a favor in the long run when they're violating you?
I know the reason them bitches got bond numbers.
Because you know why they have bond numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that means you that means you, when they have those, you don't agree to do business with them? Are there corporations?
No, it just means that trickery is just what it is. Trickery is only
trickery.
Yeah, it's all about trickery. Everything boiled down to trickery. That's why I keep going back to that topic.
Yeah, you like that word trickery. So I'm like, you got to give me some more with it. Okay.
Everything boiled down to trickery. All this shit that we look at today, it ain't broke. Ain't nothing wrong with the government or the so-called government or the so-called state or taxes or the education system. Ain't nothing wrong with that shit.
Okay.
It's running perfectly fine.
Okay.
Because it was never designed to do you no good. It was created in deception. And if you understand that, then you understand why everything is like it is.
Okay.
Because these bitches design these things to happen this way. Like, we was put here in this system, on this earth, on this planet, through our mother's womb, whatever, however it happened. We was put here, most of us, with just an assumption or some type of false security that our system, our government, our don't give me to use the wrong words.
No, say exactly how you feel.
Had our, you know what I'm saying? Just had our best interest in hand, so to speak. But the fact is, none of that shit was never true. It was always designed to keep us under. It was always designed to keep us fucked up. And the fact that it ain't no more whips and chains. The only way they do it and able to maintain it is through trickery.
It's through trickery.
By changing definitions of words.
Okay.
And hiding definition of creating new definitions from words and burying old meanings of words. So they tell you the truth in the words. They got to. They can't even lie to you. But the etymology is so twisted that we don't even know what we hearing. We don't know what we see. Because shit, we brainwashed or something.
We're brainwashed.
But it's all tricky. Like I said, it ain't no more whips and chains. So the only way they able to maintain this shit is through secrets.
It's through secrets.
Once you understand some of the things that's blatant here, and you walk outside, you instantly become a free man. It ain't no more chains, ain't no whips, ain't no master, nobody out there trying to stop you from going across the border and shit. The change happened in your head. And you understand that, damn, greater is he that is within me for real. Like, you, for real. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm going to ask you this last question before I close it out, because it is getting late. And I'm going to try to blend this in with your trickery. When we look on a piece of paper, or it asks us, what do you get when you hear the word? Or is that another trickery of how they get us? When you hear the word black, is it trickery because they put it on everything for us to cross that box off that we're black or African American? Is that part of trickery?
Well, yeah, that's the biggest part of trickery. Wow.
So the biggest part of trickery.
I'm telling you, I want to know.
No. So we're talking about trickery right now. Okay. And we're talking about the word. When you hear the word, when we look at a piece of paper and we have to cross off, are we black? Are we African American? Are we Native American? Are we Caucasian? So that word for us on there, that's trickery. Because I once heard that somebody educated me. Well, somebody gave me knowledge and told me that black means dead in law. But I'm not so sure how true that is. Do you know how true that is? Is some true to that?
Yeah, you know it's true.
Hey, Line.
That's the biggest part of the trickery right there, because black people think that somehow one day they gonna get reparations from.
So we think we're gonna get reparations. What we think, is that part of the trickery?
It's definitely part of the trickery. Because it's something that can never legally happen or lawfully happen. It's something that will never happen in law.
You said it will never happen?
It will never happen.
And why is that?
Never happen. Well, first of all, reparations itself is.
Oh, that's your fiance? Okay. Hey.
Reparations itself is
remuneration. Reparation itself is what?
one nation of people.
One nation of people.
Remunerating. Or, how should I say?
I'm trying to get him to. He's trying to give me these PG versions. I'm trying to pick his brain, and any other day he'll give me the straight X-rated version of these things, but he's trying to be nice about it tonight for some strange reason. Any other day he'll be straight giving it to me gutter about it.
First of all, you have to understand that the government, as you so-called know, or think,
the government that I so-called know, or the corporation that I so-called know.
When I say you, I don't necessarily mean you. I'm talking to your listeners. The government, as we all know.
You said who? Mr. RAYEL. His name is Mr. RAYEL. He don't want to.
They have what is called a responsibility to protect the public. You understand that? What that means is any information that's delivered on a public platform that they can consider to be dangerous or against or an endangerment to the public, you instantly become a threat to the public.
Okay.
Which means you have to be erased.
Come up missing.
I'm telling you, it's a lawful,
goodness,
I should say, responsibility that they have to the public. So when you start opening up private conversations on public platforms, you kind of expose yourself to shit that, you know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful. I'm talking about, this is how it's been. This is how it has been for so long. But right now, we at a time that's so detrimental. That it's like, this information need to get out by any means necessary. And fuck, like, they already doing too much. They killing us in the water and the air and the food. Trying to make us think we killing each other now.
Right.
It ain't time to keep your mouth closed really about that information. So that ain't my that I'm just telling you what is the what you got to think about, the type of shit you need to think about. But at the same time, in order for anything to come across as being useful, the listener, it started with the listeners. Like, we have to be willing to do what is called our due diligence, because we've been lied to, like I said, for so much since birth. Believe it or not, we've been lied to. Can you imagine just lying to a baby forever? Just every fucking thing you tell a baby is a lie. How can she or he grow up to believe anything you say?
It's that every culture besides the Black culture received recuperation. The Jews, the Indian, and Japan after they dropped the bomb on them.
Okay, maybe so. Let's go back to that word right quick. Black. The word black means in law to be civil liter mortuus.
All right, civil liter mortuus.
Right.
Black.
Which translates in Latin as dead in the eyes of the law.
Dead in the eyes of the law.
So black lives, black this, black that, black and I'm proud, black and I'm, all those was Jewish movements and still are to this fucking day. Jewish movements that's created to keep us lost as a so-called race of people, to keep us in a race as a people that don't even fucking exist.
Okay.
These are things that's there to keep us tagged and in disbelief. Like, let me give you an example.
What's the topic? It started off as registration. So we were talking about registration and what does it mean to register or register. Okay. Where was you saying?
Oh, a good example. How many people listen?
Come on.
Man, because I can't be.
Okay.
It ain't that I'm worried about too many. It's that I just be wondering how deep I should go with this shit.
It doesn't matter because it gets played back and viewed back no matter what. This ain't the first one. So what were you saying?
I was simply saying that Black lives don't matter.
Okay, so before we close it out, we about to close it out. What is one thing you want to leave us with before we shut it down? What is it that what is something that you can give us to think about that a lot of people don't think about or talk about or look up or get knowledge about? What can you leave us with? You want to leave us with something about register, Regis?
About register. Yeah, we'll go back to that.
Okay. Register. We're gonna end it with register, Regis. I still got to get into register. What is it?
Let me ask you a question.
If
I started the corporation right now, well, first of all, in order to start a corporation, I got to either make it an LLC. I got to decide what type of entity I'm going to be, LLC, sole proprietorship, corporation.
You said there isn't a Black culture. The Latin, Jews, Greek, or whomever had to go to Kemet to get a formal education. Okay. What were you saying?
Let me make it brief. If I was to start a corporation right now, and call myself the United Boys of Detroit, right? That's the name of my corporation. I say it's going to be for tax benefits, I make it an actual corporation instead of an LLC or a trust for that matter, because I do have that option creating my corporation, right? Now, what I would do if I didn't want you and nobody to know who the actual stockholders or shareholders or owners in my corporation, if I wanted to incorporate through Michigan, for example, I would have to list all the owners. You would know who my president, who you would have to know, because me having a corporation is 3 positions that's necessary in every corporation. I gotta tell you who my president is, who my vice president is, and who my secretary of treasury is. Those are 3 things that you're gonna have to know. But if I wanted to do it completely anonymously, without anybody having a clue of those things, I would probably do it through Delaware.
Through Delaware.
Right. Because if you look up these things, I don't know, you will find out that 70 to 80% of the corporations in the United States are all registered through Delaware.
Really?
For these same reasons.
You could register in a state that has a veil. You could register in a state that has a veil.
A veil? What does he mean by veil?
Let's look it up.
Delaware and Maryland is the only 2 states.
Delaware and Maryland
that allow you to integrate completely anonymously. Now this shit is Jews. These Jews right now. Good. Delaware, I think it's like 78% of corporations in the United States are registered through Delaware.
Okay. State has a veil.
But the reason why is for tax benefits and unanimity or anonymous.
Whom is a part of your corporation. If they don't know whom.
Meaning that I can say.
How can you be sitting in front of me and own the state of Michigan?
Because people own corporations.
Because people own corporations. I'm pulling up the information about a veil. Okay, it says, he said, the fact is that the 1% that runs this country knows the truth about the people of Kemet. There are groups of scientists and doctors get together every 10 years. Oh, hold on, every 10 years and discuss the people of color. Wow. Thanks, Fast Track. I'm looking up the word veil. Do you need a corporate veil?
He said a state with a corporate veil.
His wife said, you could register in a state that has a veil, so they don't know whom is a part of your corporation.
And what states would those be? What is the veil they speaking of?
I'm pulling up some stuff, and it says, I see like entity veil, Pierce entity. Do you need a corporate veil?
Ask Google what's the richest state.
What's the richest state? Let me ask Google what's the richest state.
Delaware. This is why.
What?
I'm telling you why.
Let me see. What's the richest state? Let me see what Google tells me first. Maryland. Hold on. Maryland currently holds the title as the wealthiest U.S. state.
Maryland?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you said
Maryland
right. You said Maryland and Delaware. Yeah. Because the new U.S. Census.
Ask what's the second.
Comes. Let's see. What's the second richest state? It has, I don't know. This says Washington, then Maryland, and New Jersey, then Hawaii. Let me see. State and territories ranked by median household income. So that's how they got it.
They trying to hide the bullshit.
Basically the same thing that he just spoke on. Okay. See, New York. Yeah, New York. They had New York on here. That's like the third.
But Delaware is the state that all listen. Maybe there's too much information. But Delaware is the state that all other states incorporate through.
Okay, so Delaware.
First of all, the state of anything is only in your mouth. So all of these states of are nothing but sub corporations of one other corporation. So we talking about franchises. That's all registered through one corporation.
Okay.
And all of these fucking corporations that we know of, meaning states to cities, states to counties to municipalities to cities, are all corporations, different forms of corporations. Same forms of different names of corporations. Different names, same form of the same fucking corporation. Simple as that. We don't have a government. We have 185,000 different corporations.
We don't have a government. 100 and what?
85,000
different corporations. Now that's crazy. And a lot of people was really fought you about that too. When they would tell you that we have a government. There's no
they can't fault now listen, and this is how you can prove this. Any city, state, municipality, or anybody that you think is not a government or a corporation in the government, go to the Secretary of State of that city. Or that whatever state they in, go to their Secretary of State and look up their charter. And I guarantee you it's going to tell you that they are probably a private, I don't know how I may say, but it's going to be to the words of private organization doing business for profit, charter for so-and-so, so-and-so, for profit. Automatically telling you when they for profit, that means they can sue and be sued. Therefore, back to McDonald's. If you can't vote for Ronald McDonald, what the fuck make you think you can vote for Ronald McBiden without registering first? So all I'm saying is that's them tricking your ass into thinking that your vote matters. This is the reason why the expression being all in your mailbox, all on your head, all in your sleep, more important than ever before in life. Vote, 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 vote. Because they need new souls to re-register for their new corporation.
So he said, makes sense. A lot of early officials lived in Maryland and then Delaware. Okay, Baltimore has the largest crops in the world, and it was the breeding of our people for the plantation.
Pick up a Lysol bottle. Pick up any of this shit, and it'll tell you that shit is meant through Delaware. All this shit.
Oh yeah, they do have Delaware on a lot of stuff.
I'm telling you, right. Delaware got.
That's funny you said that too, because I see Delaware on a lot of stuff and didn't pay attention to it.
Everything. That's funny. The United States is incorporated through Delaware. The state of Michigan is incorporated through Delaware.
The state of Michigan is incorporated through Delaware.
City of Detroit is incorporated through Delaware.
What?
Yes. All this shit is incorporated through Delaware. Why?
I don't know why. You tell me why.
But that's the main reason. I just gave it to you on that shit.
What?
I probably said too much too fast.
Oh my goodness.
Anybody can look into that shit. But it's basically bottom line type shit. All the truth being up in front of our face. So they got to keep us dead in law in order to.
So they have to keep us black.
Exactly.
Dead in law.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me create a scenario for you. Because I just. Wait, what happened to the boys in Detroit? All right, I'll take it across sea. If me and you go start a corporation in China, right now, we start a corporation in China. We start off prosperous, doing good. We ain't never been over there. So basically, we colonizing, right? Years pass, whatever, our corporation is booming. Right? We taking over shit, monopolizing the whole industry. Commodities, commerce, we got that shit on lock, right? So as a corporation, if we decide to go to war with the industries in Russia, and we gonna bomb them bitches because we done developed the military force or whatever the reason, how the fuck can we, our melanated asses, bomb Russia and say the Chinese people, or say that Chinese did it. We the Chinese and we bombing Russia. How can we do that on an international level? You see what I'm saying? How can we do that and it be accepted around the world? Like who ain't gonna call us on the fact that them niggas ain't the Chinese?
Right.
Right? How can we get away with that shit?
I don't think we would.
The only way we would be accepted as the new Chinese is if somehow we convinced all the Chinese people to start calling themselves the yellow people. See what I'm saying?
All right.
If all the Chinese people start calling themselves the yellow people, then we can be the new Chinese. We the new Chinese. We make the motherfuckers who we gotta give them some type of nationality. Then we make them say they the Afro-Chinese. But we gonna be still the Chinese.
He said no, they have to keep us under their thumb. This is why the Republicans are fighting so hard to stay in power.
Okay, back to my point. The only way we can bomb Russia, rape, steal, kill, sell dope, do all this shit around the world and get away with it as the new Chinese is if ain't no fucking Chinese saying we ain't the Chinese. So if all the Chinese people is accepting the fact that they the yellow people, we can be the new Chinese. Fuck over Russia and we can even fuck over the yellow people. But we the new Chinese. This land is Chinese. We the new Chinese. We tied to the land now because we doing it in the name of the Chinese, right? That shit wouldn't make no fucking sense for the Chinese people to just start calling themselves the yellow people. So what we talking about is birthright theft. We talking about the fact that we able to untie these people to the land and implant ourselves. and recreate their fucking history or whatever you want to call it to make ourselves the new Chinese. Okay, now as dumb as it is for some Chinese people to start accepting the fact that we the yellow people or we the Afro Chinese, it makes no more sense for a nation of people on this land right here to accept the fact that these Europeans that we know ain't from here is the Americans. Why they make you call yourself the Black Afro-American. It's birthright theft. The only way these hunky motherfuckers get away with doing the shit they do, and we all know they not from this soil, and you are one way or the other, is because they make you call yourself the black people. Now that shit don't make no more sense for the black people than it do the yellow people. And I don't give a fuck who don't like it. It don't got nothing to do with a color. It's all about being tied to the land. So all that Afro-American shit, either you African or you American. And what you have to know that Africa is America. America is Africa. All of this shit is tied because we are one. And that separation that make us think or supposed to make us believe that we're in a race is what make everybody lose the race.
I like that.
I'm talking about it's there, it's real, it's simple, it's fuck for real. But we have to understand that it's trickery. Because these bitches can't get away with shit that we don't let them. If we don't understand our place,
go back to trickery.
Right. I'm telling you, as the true landlords in this bitch.
Right. And you know what? I told him I wanted to talk about that tonight too. She said, just like the $5 Indians trying to be a part of the indigenous people. Then I wanted to talk about $5 Indians tonight, but he stopped me. See?
I'm saying,
yes, so true, so true.
But listen though, this is the one part why I don't want to talk about $5 because
somebody was on my side thinking like I was.
I want to talk about fundamentals.
Colonizers are always trying to steal something.
I want to talk about fundamentals first because you gotta establish certain shit. Because if you just start talking about like Martin Luther King. Off into Martin Luther King, but until a lot of shit is established, that conversation is gonna come off generic and cliche because everybody think they got a conversation or opinion about Martin Luther King, but unless you understand the certain fundamentals on the bottom or the establishment of this shit and where he came from and who put him at, then you can't really talk about Martin Luther King. I mean, we could talk about it. We could talk about his dream if you want to. But what fucking difference do that make? You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. Like,
okay.
I guess he had a dream for black people. And then he even recanted that shit himself because he knew that he fucked up.
How did he know he messed up?
Let him tell you.
He can't tell.
I'm saying he can tell you though, but he started taking all that shit back. He was put in place for a certain reason. And then when he started telling people the truth and understanding what the fuck he really was leading us into and getting us into, he started trying to pull that shit back and started trying to give certain messages that got him killed. Flat the fuck out.
Okay. So this is really going to be the real closing out. I think I try to close out like 3 times, but I really
shit all week.
But I really want to.
We don't even gotta sleep. We don't gotta go. We
gotta sleep. We'll either come back Friday or
let me
Saturday.
Say this. How many listeners you got on that? You can tell me now.
I don't know. Michael Luther King was too friendly. Give me Malcolm Little.
Well, Malcolm X got killed for the same reason. Malcolm X got killed for the same reason. The truth get niggas killed. Flat out. The truth get niggas killed. Flat the fuck out. The truth get niggas killed. But freedom is in the truth too. It's either get free or die trying. Fuck these bitches. Straight up.
Okay. For our real closing out, I want to ask you this. even though it could get a little deep, but you're gonna just give me a little snippet, and then we can finish this Friday or Saturday. You said true, but you prefer his style, right? I prefer Malcolm's style than Merton too, right?
Malcolm style. What she mean, like
she still take his style than Martin.
Well, to a certain extent, Malcolm definitely. I would say so too. Mm-hmm. Definitely, Malcolm. Definitely, definitely, Malcolm. I mean, Martin Luther King ain't even in the same ballpark as Malcolm, but they will, and through our system and our education. But understand, they gave both of them to us though. Like they create or give
by any means necessary.
But
I want to close it out with this.
But any means necessary. Any means necessary ain't necessarily just violent either. Mm-hmm. Any means mean you got to equip yourself with knowledge. You got to understand your enemy. You got to understand how the fuck is he tricking you? Because he ain't doing it violently. They not oppressing us violently. Mm-hmm. They not. Mm-hmm. We think so. That's only because, what's your name? I'm black. Okay, Bip, get your ass in the back. That's why you getting oppressed, because you said so first. Mm-hmm. They not just doing it violently. Black lives don't matter. Black, that shit is what getting niggas fucked up. If you black, then they know you are a stateless individual, and if we kill your ass, we got an insurance policy on you anyway. To be a ward of the state means they got control of your estate from bail. When you register, you transfer all your fucking assets into the royal estate. So when you die, they don't do shit but cash in. That's why your shit go to probate instead of where Epstein shit go. I don't know. It's somewhere still making money. Mm-mm. When you die, your shit go to probate. But when a motherfucker who know a little something and got enough sense to make a will somehow, because that never come from school or nothing either, right? Mm-hmm. But if you find out somehow that you should have wrote a will, then your estate affairs may be handled differently upon your passing than they would the average black citizen. Mm-hmm. Wow. Why?
So we're going to close it out with this. I just want a little snippet of it. And if you could just give me a little snippet of what's your take on this and what you say about this. You try all things before violence. When it comes to money, paper, why do you say that it's not real? Why do you say money is not real?
I say money is not real.
Or do you think money is not real?
First of all, yeah, money is definitely real. Wait a minute. That's the see. Okay, I'm finna tell you that. First of all, the first concept of money started off as a trick itself. The first motherfucker that told a nigga, give me that cow for these 3 gold pellets, was on some bullshit. I think that's just my opinion, my part of that, because substance is worth nothing but substance. Like value is determined of substance by nothing but substance. Like you can't sell me a dream. Anything less than that is just that. That's where Jack and the Beanstalk came from. Give me these 3 gold pellets because you're going
bartering. Huh? Bartering.
Substance for substance, flat the fuck out. So give me 3 gold pellets, and then one day you're gonna get to the beanstalk and the golden goose in the sky type shit. You know what I'm saying? So money itself was all bail a trick. Then they found out somehow that if they was able to take the same weight or increments of gold pellets and just stamp different denominations on them, that these motherfuckers have figured that
like what you're saying. She said bartering. Exchange goods or services for other goods or services without using money. Yep. Okay. Got it. Okay. I need to write this down too. Bartering. I didn't know that, y'all.
That's what we going to, the system of bartering. We don't need that shit.
Okay.
Everybody think this Bitcoin shit finna help something.
Bitcoin not fit to help? You telling me Bitcoin not about to help?
That's completely. Listen, first of all, paper was of no substance. Now they trying to take that shit away. They want everybody to believe that their value is in the sky. Your value is in the crypto. You ain't never even fucking been to crypto. How you gonna go get your shit? How you gonna even count your shit? Like, come on, man. Cryptocurrency? What the fuck? American currency ain't shit no more. So now we need some cryptocurrency. I ain't never even been to crypto. I'm straight on this shit. Ain't that the shit that fucked Superman up? Man didn't even like crypto.
How can they say that this country is in debt, but this year alone they have written 4 trillion checks? Man, Superman. I'm
telling you, ain't that the shit that fucked Superman up? Cryptocurrency. Money. Back to that.
Yes. I was trying to get you to tell me about money and our birth certificate.
If they can make you believe that the paper got value and it's worth the faith of the people, just like they said, the dollar will be determined by the faith of the people. Only because the real Constitution only allowed for real gold and silver to be tendered or considered as lawful tender. Or Congress could, what that shit say, Congress could abridge no law passed or some bullshit, not making nothing other than gold and silver lawful tender. Lawful.
Because I'm thinking that's why we got all these pawn shops. They
so I'm gonna make a long story short and just tell you what these bitches did was create a whole nother system. They couldn't control nothing in the real world, so they created a whole artificial world. It's all under admiralty law and administrative policy. It ain't got shit to do with law. That's why we got attorneys at law and not.
She says, "Is he a Moor?"
You a Moor too. That's all we. That's the secret, right?
That's what we all are.
All Moors, and all this fucking land is ours. All this shit is ours, and they want to keep you thinking that you some other race or some other part of some shit. Just only. All of these is different misnomers, different shit that they created to divide us all and create race, which creates a race.
There you go.
Which makes motherfuckers think that they need to finish first.
So what
and if it make you all end up finishing last?
He said that's so shit that Hillary Clinton was trying to push. They are trying to go to one currency for the world. This is the start of the new world order, something that has been spoke about for over 50 years. Oh my God, you sound like him, Fast Track.
He said that's what he said.
That's the shit Hillary Clinton trying to push that currency.
That's the shit. That's the shit they just pushed.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton wasn't trying to push shit. Biden got elected today. But first of all, if anybody noticed, I ain't see no presidential seal nowhere. Did you?
Presidential seal?
Yeah. Because the president of the United States used to talk in front of the seal, behind a presidential seal. Who the fuck is this nigga if he ain't talking in front of the presidential seal? All I'm saying is all of this shit is trickery. Since day one when Trump has been in there, the first thing he started doing was tweeting. He need everybody socially to be involved because they know they finna bring on a different storm of bullshit. Before they take one reality, they have to create a new one. They had to get everybody involved with these phones and all this shit that's digital. So we can start changing the real reality. Because if niggas wasn't so far into the phones and the TVs, we'd be in the fucking street trying to see what they really talking about. You see what I'm saying? But niggas on the couch, pacified. They pacified you first. Then they took the bullshit. Then they changed your real reality. So they got us all fucked up. That ain't no question. But it's still trickery. All this shit is boiled down to that. Because they can't get away with none of this shit without that. None of it. Because they ain't doing it by force. They ain't even doing it by smarts. They ain't smarter than us. They ain't tougher than us. They ain't more than us. They ain't shit.
They are nothing.
I'm telling you. And then when I say they, the real they is so conniving that most of y'all or most of our people is going to think I'm talking about somebody else, because that's the first trick, is to divert the attention, to make us think that our enemy is somebody completely different. when they ain't shit but
they made a
too.
point to bring it to the attention of the people.
They ain't shit but Gullion too. So they gonna create your enemies for you. They gonna create your enemies and your heroes.
Right. The colonizers have our people brainwashed.
Them bitches create your enemies and your heroes.
Wait a minute, did you just say they created our enemies and our heroes?
Yes. They make us think that our real oppressors is some fuckers that ain't got the smarts to oppress they damn self. Like, we taught these motherfuckers everything.
What?
But they want us to think that these the real. Everybody think they problems come from so-called white people. And I say so-called because motherfuckers don't even understand what that means. So-called white people, because that shit ain't real either. White people, all this shit is statuses. These words, the words that they use and choose to perpetuate and perpetrate on the motherfucker's ass.
Oh my God.
All be some made up shit.
Right, because we were just watching something a few weeks ago. What's that? The meaning, though, supposed to be the real meaning of white.
The real meaning of white?
Well, what you about to say? You just go ahead and say it, you smart mouth.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They were saying white really means black. When remember they were talking about the colors and.
Well, yeah, that's some shit I ain't up on. I know white legally, lawfully, I should say, is a status. White means free.
White means free. Free.
So listen, I'm talking before the 1860s when they start calling themselves white and start referring to us as black. White was a status that meant to be free. So a free white man was the status of any fucking body that was free without any indentures or any. You know what I'm saying? He was a free white man.
If people learn to tease Arch for themselves, they would know more than what the colonizers led them to believe. Okay. Then he said, he right on that. We distracted by social media. This is how they get over on us. Right.
One of them.
Yeah. That is true. So was that our last closing? Even though you still didn't give it to me when I wanted you to tell me about the money and the birth certificates, you didn't get to where I wanted you to say how they sell our birth certificates, or we can use our birth certificate is money. You know, we don't have to. Money is not real.
You just want to say you don't even want to cook this shit first. Just throw all this meat right.
Erase Arch research. Oh,
you
research.
You don't want to cook the meat first. You don't want to take no side.
No, I said I want to do a closing, and I want the closing for you to tell us how the birth certificate is actually and how they sell our birth certificate. He got me studying all this stuff, and now he don't want to talk about it, y'all. Okay, nope. We'll close it out with this. And this is a good closing, y'all, before we leave. Give us 3 good books. 3 good books to name. You want me to name 3 good books?
Yeah, give me 3 good books. Yeah, go ahead.
Redemption.
Okay.
Something about the etymology. Why'd you playing? And the Black Law Dictionary.
Oh, of course.
You could have gave us 3 good books that we can go research and look and stuff.
Everybody need a Black Law.
See?
Because, hold on, I'm gonna tell you why.
Oh, we know it's already understood, right?
Hold on, first of all, wait a minute. First, listen. First of all, motherfuckers gonna tell you need a black law.
Is bad unless it comes money. If you're in the black, you good. Right, at the casino.
First of all, actually, red is good. If you want to get technical.
How is red good?
Once you understand your position. If you think you're a debtor, but if you understand the fact that you're the creditor, then all red. That's all you look at is red.
So are you the creditor?
I'm the fucking creditor. They owe me.
They owe you?
Yeah, we talking about the red. Yeah. But that's what you got to understand. Now, anyway. What you just say?
I was telling you about the 3 books that you didn't want to.
Oh, I said we was talking about Black's Law. I was going to say Black's Law. Everybody ain't going to tell you why you need a Black's Law. Black's law is good for the words and the this and that, and for your understanding. But you need Black's law because you got to understand the words them bitches use. They get they word from Black's law. They get law words from law dictionaries. So you have to go back to at least a fourth edition or better because they start changing the fucking word after the fifth and sixth edition. They change shit in the fifth and then in the sixth they change everything after that. But it's they word. Don't think that it's gonna give you something that you need. It's gonna give you understanding of the shit that they using against you. I'm talking about. That's why. That's why you need that shit. Not because yo heritage in that shit. Only they trickery in that shit. And trickery. I'm gonna tell you the
back to trickery,
what
y'all.
everybody fucking need to know. What we all need to know is the UCC. Before everything, the uniform.
Before you say my
code.
name, UCC3.
Everybody need to understand, read the Uniform Commercial Code.
Right.
Now, read it ain't easy.
Don't we know?
Picking it up and reading ain't easy.
Don't
just
we know?
For the first time. Because it ain't designed to be. They don't make it that way. They want you to pick it up, look at it, and say, "Oh, this ain't for me. I need a lawyer."
So now, so you just went to my. Okay, y'all. I wanted to close it out. On top of that, when him telling me the real, he said it though. I didn't say it. When you hear the word lawyer, what does that really mean?
Right. I mean,
like,
what do it mean?
No, because you mentioned something before that you was giving me knowledge about where they have to pass the bar or something. A lawyer is like.
Okay, well, a lawyer is a liar.
Okay.
Same thing. A lawyer, you're a liar. Only way you can tell your lawyer, or only way you know your lawyer is lying to you. It's only one way to be able to tell if your lawyer lying to you. You know what that is?
No.
Well, the only way you can tell for sure if your lawyer lying or not is you look straight at him and his lips be moving.
Just stop. To know if your lawyer is lying to you is to look dead at them and see their lips moving. As soon as they open up their mouth, they lying.
Hey, if
point blank.
Moving, flat the fuck out.
They're lying.
Because it's a difference between being in the river.
That's what I was trying to get to. River. Right.
It's a difference between being in the river and at the river. When you're in the river, you wet. When you at the river, you just at the side of that. You might be barbecuing, you might be fishing, whatever. You know, that's why they're attorneys at law.
Not in law, at law.
Not in law. So they don't want to get wet.
Wow.
They don't got shit to do with law. Their whole job is to keep you out of law. They have to keep you into the artificial world, which is the legalese. It's a whole difference between legal and law. When you're dealing with law, attorney can't help you. Okay. Matter of fact, an attorney take an oath, whether he know it or not to help you, because his first.
He does an oath with them first to.
Yes, his first allegiance or his oath is to his profession.
Right.
Second to his career, or what? First to the bar association, his profession, meaning that you
they're working for the government. Exactly. Yep.
Second is to the fucking job, I would say, or to the last is to his damn actual client. His last responsibility is to you. Because even word, like when we get back to word, that's why I told you have to have a foundation that's going to be about looking shit up. Because we have to be able to touch the etymology of these words. That's why you brought up etymology. The importance is, what the fuck did this shit really mean? And a lot of things we understand simple because the truth is in our DNA. Like, they can't really lie to us. They tell us shit, but it don't. Like, if they lied to you, it wouldn't register with you right. So they have to tell you the truth and make you think it believes something else. And make you think it means something else. Make you believe that it means something else. Novel coronavirus. Y'all could have used any fucking word in the world. Why y'all want to pick novel? Oh, because it mean never seen before, too. What you mean, too? What's the main meaning of this shit? Oh, sustaining a fictitious narrative. Novel corona, so you gonna tell me the shit fictitious and then make me put a mask on? Like this shit don't make sense.
Research things for yourself and not following the colonizers. Right.
Research everything.
Line since January of 2020, all I've been doing is researching.
Listen to my point. You have to research everything. You've been lied to since you was a fucking baby. If anybody lied to a baby all their life, by the time they turn 9, they ain't gonna believe shit you say. So don't think at no point we can believe nothing these bitches say. Don't believe nothing I say. Because I don't come off as trying to know shit. I don't know nothing. I only can share the shit I come across and learn myself. Like I ain't no teacher. I only share shit and I'm willing to learn. Like that's the reason why we got one mouth and 2 ears.
Unfuck yourself, right?
The reason we got one mouth and 2 ears. We have to be able to listen twice as hard as we talk on any fucking thing. I'm gonna listen to you before I tell you a damn fool.
Oh, you gonna listen to me first before you call me a damn fool?
I can't do it just by looking at you, even though you look like a damn fool.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I can tell you that. You look like a damn fool.
Right.
I can't say you is a damn fool. Or that make me the damn fool. Because I ain't even listening.
Right.
So all I'm saying is that all of this shit is here. It's out here. Like, it's just about us being mature enough to connect the dots. It's about the prayer of serenity, if anybody familiar with that. You know what I'm saying? So we want discernment, we want wisdom, and then we want the courage. The wisdom to notice the difference between the shit that we can change, and the courage to handle this shit once it's done, or once we get that understanding. So what was your last question again? I forgot.
No, that was it. That was actually about the birth certificate, and then about the lawyer. Want to end with that.
Lawyer, right. So, the definition of attorney. The root word meaning a term. To a term is to turn over. So what the fuck would an attorney be doing? Or why would you even
turning our asses over to the corporation?
Exactly.
So to turn our ass over to the corporation.
As it is, it's just that simple.
Right.
It's just that fucking simple.
True. So we're gonna end it with that. Maybe Friday or Saturday we'll talk about bonds and fiduciaries and filing certain stuff. Sending papers out to certain people.
I'm gonna say it right now because we might not be guaranteed till Friday.
Oh my goodness.
I'm serious.
Okay.
And this is what I'm coming to understand. Because like I said, I don't know shit. But every day shit new to me too, just like it is everybody else. And what I'm understanding, I've been understood it, but I'm understanding more and more that if you don't do shit else, declare your nationality.
Declare your nationality. Which is what
you mean? Whatever it is, goddamn. I don't care.
Whatever it is.
Even if you African.
Even if you Chinese.
Yeah, if you African. Get that shit on paper somewhere. Be that. Don't be black and dead. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So then you decide what it is for yourself. Because somebody that heirs to this shit, they know somebody. They know they ain't from here. They know somebody own this shit for real. They know they been covering up a whole lot of shit from somebody. And I ain't gonna say it's me. I ain't gonna say it's you. I am gonna say it's me, but I ain't gonna tell you it's you.
Oh my God.
All I'm saying is wake up, goddammit, and find out something. It don't matter if you Chinese, I swear. If you say you Chinese, which you are actually, you are the original Manchurian too. You the original every motherfucking thing. But if you are Chinese, they gotta prove you ain't. If you say, goddammit, I'm Chinese, my daddy was Yao Wing Yang Meng Poo, they gotta say it ain't Miyagi. True. But you gotta state it though. You see what I'm saying? And you don't gotta wait till you dead.
Mm-hmm.
You don't gotta wait till you dead for them bitches to start doing what you say.
So all you gotta do is tell them, are we being recorded? Okay. Well, for the record, I make sure y'all get this on record. Okay, y'all. Good night. We'll check back on Friday or Saturday. Thank you all for joining in.